they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello and welcome back to Flippin It with Sam and Sav. We are here on this lovely Sunday with a very special guest. My teammate, my friend, she's my class. Known her for 2.5 years now, but it feels like forever. Emma Spence. Yeah.
Yes, hello. Sorry, I might sound like I'm breathing heavy.
Because he is.
Because I had to park like a block away and run here.
That's okay.
Downtown, the basketball game. Like,
yeah, no parking.
Insane.
Crazy.
Anyways, Emma Spence, everyone.
Welcome.
Canadian's national treasure.
Yeah.
Or Canada's national treasure, sorry.
So if you are part of the gym community, you definitely know Spence. If you're part of the Canadian sports community, you know Spence. If you're a Husker fan, you know Spence. Spence
everybody knows
is
her.
an amazing athlete, amazing friend, a good human being, and I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so glad to be here with you guys.
Do you want to tell the listeners a little bit about you, where you're from,
Who you are,
how long you've been doing gymnastics, what you're studying, a little background?
All right. Well, my name is Emma Spence. I'm from a small town called Cambridge, and that's in Ontario, Canada. I've been doing gymnastics since I was 7 years old.
Which is late.
Yeah. Usually gymnasts do start a lot sooner. But before that, I did like swimming and soccer and all those other sports that you try when you're young. But then when I was 7, I stuck with gymnastics.
And what took you into gym in the first place? Just high energy kid or?
So my middle sister actually started it before me because she went to a gymnastics birthday party. And
always the birthday.
Yeah, she loved doing it. And then she came home. She was doing like little cartwheels and stuff around the house. So I wanted to do that too. And I got into it also.
Mm-hmm.
That's what started that. I don't remember what else that you said.
Yeah, kind of why you chose Nebraska, what you're studying, how you're liking it.
I'm studying communication studies with minors in education and psychology. I like it. I'm learning a lot of cool things with that. Still don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but I'm learning a lot.
That's changed too, because you were speech pathology, right?
I was. Yes.
Okay.
So how has college you didn't attend college or university in Canada. How is the education system here versus the education system in Canada? And from what you know about university in Canada, how does it differ?
Your sister's in university in Canada.
Yeah. So my sister's in a Canadian university close to my house. Honestly, it seems like the school part of it's pretty similar. Like the course load and everything, the classes that she's learning. Like I took some science classes when I first got here, and she's telling me some of the stuff that she's learning in her classes for her major as well. So from what it sounds like, I feel like it's pretty similar. The biggest difference is probably the sports in college in the US. Like we don't have big sports teams like that in Canada at all.
Yeah.
Like our football games and everything, there's not that many people that show up at all, and not many people in the like city itself know what it is or like what the people on the teams or anything like that. But then when you come to Lincoln, then the whole state knows pretty much.
Or even America even.
Yeah.
And just that's very curious because the hold that sports has in America is insane. And I feel like it's because it takes two to tango. It's like input output, but there's so much money in it. But like from the start, it was just always so popular, and so people are gonna put money into it and watch it and do all these deals and brand, like just everything like that. So I don't know.
And is Abby doing school in English?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That is another
part.
thing.
Yeah.
So I did go to school from kindergarten to grade 12 in French. So then when I did get here, it was a little bit confusing learning some of the terms.
So you're like fluent in French.
Yes.
And you know what? That's insane because you would never even know.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like your accent, because
she's not from Quebec, which is like the typical French speaking area. Yeah.
Well, what province are you from?
Ontario.
Ontario. Is Quebec in Ontario?
It's beside
it.
So it's kind of like a state. Like if Ontario is the state and then Quebec is a different state.
Oh, so is Quebec a province?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That makes sense. Because Raffi is from Quebec.
She's from like Montreal, which is in Quebec.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so with her, you can hear it. And I think it's so funny because I always get confused with Raffi because she looks like she can be like.
She also speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
Because she's lived in Spain.
Yes.
She looks like she could be European.
She's got a cool story.
Maybe 2 countries in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And then her accent is like kind of French. But then it's like you get this Spanish Latin vibe. So it's like, what are you, bruh? And I don't know, people like that are so cool.
Yeah, she's got a cool story.
She does.
But yeah, so Spence spoke French first, which is so cool.
She speaks in French first.
Is there anything you want me to say?
My name is Emma Spence.
My name is Emma Spence. I do gymnastics and I'm on 93.7 The Ticket with Sav and Sam.
Okay. See if I remember. Je m'appelle Emma Spence. What was the other thing? I do gymnastics. Je fais de la gymnastique et je suis ici avec Sam and Sav sur I don't know how to say the station in French. So
93.7.
93.7 The Ticket.
Perfect. We love it.
I think French is one of those it's the language of love. I think it's so just like I want to speak it. Yeah, no, it is. And it's just satisfying too.
Yeah, it is.
Like the
It's
different
very cool.
nuances of it and stuff.
Yeah. That's so cool that you could, I mean, I know it's probably a different accent and different language, but when you go to like France, at least you'll have some idea.
Yes. So like how that works basically is like it's French, but the accent's different. Like if you were speaking American English versus like British English, it's like a different accent kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's cool
That's
though.
cool.
You still understand and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
So American English would be like, I'm guessing the Canadian French.
Yeah, probably something like that.
And then French is like British English. Interesting.
Okay. So tell us, I like to ask when we have guests on from other countries, I want to hear your take. I know a little bit and I can share a couple stories of our freshman year, but like a little bit of the culture shock kind of coming from Canada to the US and starting school and kind of, you just like dove right in. So I kind of want to hear about like the biggest differences, what you're most shocked by, what you like about one or the other. I want to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah. So basically, when I came here, it was my first time ever in Nebraska. First time ever. I think I was in the US like a couple times before, but maybe for like a day trip. So like I literally just like moved to Lincoln, Nebraska, and I had no idea what it was. But yeah, so that's how it started. It was interesting. Honestly, now looking at it, I don't think there are that many differences. But when I first got here, there was a lot.
Yeah.
Like the food was a little bit different. Like the portions was a big thing that right away. Like I got here, one
time we were at training table. And they had like Uncrustables, like and Spence picked them up and she's like, sandwiches in bags. She was so shocked and she took like a couple back to our dorm and was so excited to try it and it was so funny. That's like I'll never forget that. It was so funny.
Uncrustable now.
They're so good. But anyway, quick story.
I mean, in elementary school, and this wasn't in my time. This might have been your time actually. Because they switched later, but the milk in bags.
Oh,
they had milk in bags.
We have
milk.
That.
Oh, really?
Like
milk?
Yeah. Like the ones that you put like in the holder thing.
I literally I don't even drink milk on its own. It is not, like if you're defending milk, you need to check your priorities.
No, just
that's
like
my thing.
you're pronouncing it M-E-L.
I know. And people are like, "Oh, is it milk? Is it milk?" I'm like, dude,
milk.
Listen, I could care less about milk.
You just don't want it.
I'm not gonna try hard to say milk. I don't know,
I say it milk also. Milk.
Do you hear
I say milk.
With an E?
I just that's just how like my parents always said it. So that's just how I say it.
What do you say?
I say it wrong.
Milk.
It's milk, but I just say milk. Like when I'm not thinking about it, I just say milk.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's thinking about milk? Why are you thinking about milk so much?
Me, because it's an I. I'm just thinking about how it looks.
Why are you thinking about milk so much?
Milk.
See? Like, wow.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, anyways, Emma.
Oh, geez. Yeah, so Uncrustables, peanut butter jelly sandwiches, pre-made in a bag. That was I guess like little culture shock. I don't know. But the biggest thing was probably just the names of the stores. I didn't know if it was a restaurant or a clothing store or anything like that because I've never heard of them before. So that was different. There there's a lot of Mexican food here. There wasn't that much Mexican food back home. Now that when I go back, there is starting to be more. I see that starting to be a trend, but at the time that was very different, like Chipotle, Agave, like all those kind of restaurants. Honestly, other than that, those are probably the biggest differences for me at the beginning. Once I started to realize or just know what the stores actually were, that helped a lot.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. Now that you say that, there's this trend on the internet. Someone made a video and it's like those specific brands that like say they're commercials and like you have no idea what it's for. It's like nectar, live a better life, like alleviate your senses. And it's like, is this a food? Is it a facial scrub? Is it like, what are you selling to me? And it's like these brands that are just, they're so oblivious just in general, to like gain interest in their brand. And it's like, it improves like brand impressions and brand awareness, I guess. And, but yeah, it's so funny. I'll show you the video after if I can find it. But it's this girl and she says it perfectly. And you're like, yeah, I've definitely heard that before. So I'm like, what is this for? And it's in a bottle and it's like, still like, okay, am I drinking it? Am I putting it in my face? Am I spraying it? Am I like, what am I doing? But anyways, that is a trend with America.
Anyways.
Yeah.
What about with people?
I was pretty quiet my freshman year, honestly.
Yes.
I was more just like watching.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
observing, kind of seeing what it was like. But now that I know a lot of people here, and I guess people like that I'm around a lot of the time aren't just from like Lincoln, Nebraska. They're from everywhere in the US. So I've gotten to hear a bunch of cool accents too, like the southern ones. I think are pretty cool. I think they're honestly pretty similar as well. Like most people are pretty nice. Like I know Canada's known as like for being extremely nice and all that stuff, but like most of the people that I meet here are also very friendly.
That's good. I
Nebraska
feel like
nice.
yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of probably a Midwestern type of culture. I feel like you'd be very shocked going to like New York, New Jersey.
Probably, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome.
But even within the US, that's a big culture change.
I'm a New Yorker. Sorry.
Or even any big city, I feel
any
like
big
too,
city,
like LA where you're from too. Like I don't know. I feel like that would probably be a lot more different than Lincoln, Nebraska.
Right.
Yeah. And that was a culture shock because I was not used to like seeing the same people out and stuff. I thought that was unheard of because back home in the Valley, even I went out to the local. I mean, the only people that I would see like every day were like the clerk at the local 7-Eleven or the shaved ice place. You know what I mean? Or maybe some workers. But like if I walked into like the pavilions or the grocery store or the Starbucks, like different people each and every time.
Yeah, I see
it was
that.
rare to see like or run into people or see like the same people. And so here it's like I will go to Husker Bucks or I'll go to a store and I'll see people at the same time, at the same part of the week, familiar faces all the time. And it's like, holy crap. Also, which I don't know if I was too young to notice this, but it's definitely a Lincoln thing. Everyone knows everyone. But also, I've learned that that's just life because I've gone to different states and it's been like, oh my God, I know you from this. Because like as you grow up, you start to go to like events or meets or different environments.
I think that's you being really involved too.
Yeah.
Like you're involved in a lot of different communities too.
True. So, but yeah, I mean, definitely in Lincoln, it's like everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
And you cannot get away from it.
Everyone knows everything too.
Yes.
Very interesting.
If you're saying that about Lincoln, I feel like you've never been to like a small town in Nebraska.
This is a small town.
In Nebraska, though,
I'm just saying, like you've never been to like the small.
I've been to a small town. Oh yeah.
Like that's where like actually everybody knows. Everybody. Like when you're walking down the street, you can't name every single person.
That's
that you
true.
See.
No, but
my
I
friend
can
just
walk
went
up
to
to them
like
and
on a
they will know someone I know.
In a small town, you can actually name
identify every person.
single person
yeah,
you see.
Their population is like 100.
Okay, it's not 100.
My friend just went to Columbus, Nebraska, where
that's
you're
small,
from. The other day, and she was super shocked. She's from Detroit area, and she was like,
"That's like one of the top 10 biggest cities in Nebraska."
Really?
Yeah,
yes.
That's an issue.
So it's like it's a smaller town, but still like one of the bigger, still like on the bigger side for Nebraska.
That's interesting, huh?
Yeah, I mean, relate, but still like here.
Yeah, I get it.
It's like
also being an athlete, but yeah,
not even because we're even more cut off because we're not with the the general population.
That's fair. I feel like being in a sorority or a fraternity, you would know even more.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, Lincoln feels small to me, but at the same time, it feels big. Like when I go, for example, to South Lincoln to go see my cousins, I'm like, oh, this part feels way more unfamiliar. But like downtown and campus and those little surrounding neighborhoods, like I know those areas, and that's where I'm going to see someone I know. But then when I like go to other places, that's when I'm like, oh, Lincoln's actually bigger than I thought. But
I do want to like actually go to one of those towns though. I feel like I've only driven past them or gotten gas or like, you know what I mean? But I want to go to one of those towns and see.
Where have you been in Nebraska? You've been to Omaha and Lincoln.
Here, that's probably it.
Yeah.
I've been to Wahoo for a lake house, and then I've been to Lake Wakanda for another lake house.
Wakanda? I didn't know that was the name of the lake.
Wahoo's a little bit smaller.
Yeah. And that was even on like a man-made lake. So it wasn't really like a town. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's this town right as you get to Chuck's Lake House in Wakanda. That's like an abandoned, like it looks like a ghost town, but like people live there. But I don't know. So maybe it's just that small. I don't know. There were people in my class. I remember freshman year. It was a history class, and we were doing like an icebreaker. And she was just naming things. Like she was like, step to this side of the room if you grew up in a town with one crossroad. So like four streetlights. And it was an insane amount.
Really?
Or like it was like more than one crossroad or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I said I was from like LA because we were, and everyone just like looked at me like, whoa. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all are kind of insane.
Yeah, I just looked it up. So like Lincoln has like 290,000 people. And then if you go to like number 3, it's 63,000. So it goes from 290 to 63,000.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's a big difference.
And how it's all centralized, like on the eastern border.
It's
with Omaha, Lincoln, and
southeast.
then what's below Lincoln again?
Like Omaha is right?
No, below Lincoln.
Omaha's up here.
Are you talking about?
No, what is below Lincoln?
Like the state?
No,
what
a
city?
Like a city?
What cities?
I was just talking to someone. There's a city like southwest and southeast of Lincoln. It's called
Grand Island?
No, Grand Junction.
Oh,
Grand Junction's in Colorado.
No.
Is there a Grand Junction in Nebraska?
Are you from Nebraska?
Yeah, I'm from Nebraska. I've just never gone south. I've never
Nebraska.
gone south. I've never even been to Kansas. So like I haven't gone south of Lincoln.
Okay.
See, I'm gonna pull up a Nebraska map because I have to know this. You're intriguing me.
This is good.
See, we're gonna get knowledge right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Geography's hard sometimes.
It's Beatrice. That's what it's called.
Beatrice.
Beatrice.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, I've been Beatrice.
Yeah.
I just couldn't think of it.
Norfolk, Kearney, Grand Island, Columbus, Lincoln, Beatrice.
Okay.
And Omaha.
All the bigger cities are in southeast Nebraska. If you go to like the western part of Nebraska, there is like nothing.
North Platte.
Yeah.
That's it.
Over there.
Yeah, that's where I drive through to go to Colorado. Crazy.
I mean, it's beautiful. Some of it.
If you
We're getting a
love
lot of hate.
grasslands. Anyway.
Spence, a lot of hate.
Spence, I wanted to ask you a little bit about what you've learned as far as, this is so general, but I know you've been such an advocate for mental health, like in your time with Gym Canada and NCAA and just as a student athlete in general, which is so huge. And I don't think you realize how many people that uplifts, but I kind of wanted to just hear a little bit and have you share about what are some of the things you've learned about maintaining mental health along the way? Because I feel like you have been pretty open about your journey and you're also really good about taking time for yourself. So I kind of want to hear about that.
Thanks, Sav.
You're welcome.
Honestly, I feel like it comes in waves.
Yeah.
And like one thing I was always told is kind of like ride the wave, whether it's good or bad. You kind of just go with it. If you're like really low, it's not probably going to spike really quick. Like it's going to go through the wave. So just do what you can in the moment to make yourself feel as good as you can in the moment. So like the little self-care things.
Yeah.
And just know if you're not feeling 100%, like it's okay to take a step back from things that you have to be doing or that you feel like you need to be doing and take that time for yourself. So either extra sleep, those self-care things, watch TV. And then when it's really high, just embrace it. Have fun.
Take those wins.
Yeah. Take it. Doesn't mean it's always going to stay high, but
Definitely.
in the moment, just enjoy it. Spend time with the people that you want to be around, do things that you like to do. And I think, just knowing that it comes in waves and embracing the good and the bad because you learn things from both.
For sure.
100%.
That was great. What are
Thanks.
some of the small things that you do that make you feel better on the good or bad days?
So lately I've been cooking a lot more. So that's been fun, making my dinners.
Cooking is my.
Yeah, you're really good
Yeah.
at cooking. I've been
I
seeing
do at
that.
home too.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, try and make my own dinner, or on the weekends, like I'll bake something for fun. Lately, I've been into iPad games. That's been fun. Like at the end of the day, or like during the day, if I'm like really stressed, but like I don't know.
No, I mean,
Just doing some games.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need
Play
an
some games.
escape, a healthy escape. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's funny. And I learned that from my mom, actually, because I remember I was like in high school and I was on I played PS4 and stuff, and I was on like a binge playing PS4 games and stuff. And I was like, Mama, do I play like too much video games? She was like, because she would get at my brother, for doing it too much. And she was like, I know how much time you spend at school and at gym. It's like a combined, it's a ridiculous amount of time of your day. And it's like, it's healthy for you to get an escape, to not focus on your school or your stressors and just kind of escape for a bit and then come back. So like you said, like it's healthy to escape a bit and just to get your mind off of things and stop thinking. And then you can come back to it. Everything in moderation. Everything in moderation.
For sure.
That's also cool for my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are probably the two big ones right now. I like going outside now that it's getting a little bit sunnier out.
Oh, yes, so nice
thank
today.
God.
That
and
helps
the sun's
a lot.
later.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, other than that, spend time with people that are good to be around.
Yeah.
Watching shows sometimes.
That's another
cleaning.
thing.
I love cleaning.
You do love cleaning.
Yeah.
That's another thing I feel like we've gotten better at over the last couple years, especially from now comparatively to freshman year, is like keeping a good circle. I think we both are like very much people pleasers sometimes, and we would just like do anything and everything freshman year and just go. And I feel like now we're better about being like, you know what, like these are my people, keeping the circle small but good. I feel like that's something we both figured out.
Yeah, because if you just do everything, you're just gonna get so drained.
Yeah,
take
burnt
some time
out
for yourself helps a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a good answer.
That's funny because I was actually just like talking about. I feel like that's a phase that you go through being a freshman.
Definitely.
And it's a part of finding yourself. But it's also a part of like wanting to like fit in with the team and stuff. Because I think I went through that. And I think freshmen go through phases where like they do that, and then they go through like a resentment phase, like a teenager phase, where they're like, oh, like I'm mad and I'm angry, like don't like I want to like rebel almost. And I know I did that. I've seen it in other freshmen, and I'm seeing it now with like one or two of my freshmen right now, and they're just kind of like getting, I don't know, because I mean they're stressed. They're just like, oh,
it's so much new all in one year.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, but
so it's a lot to handle.
It is, but I really feel like we figured it out.
I think so.
Like
year 3, we got it.
No, like our class is big. We have
Junior
7
year
people.
Was the best year for me,
and we have like
it was fun.
We've done it several times where we've been just like, guys, we've come so far. Like we were a mess freshman year. We have come so far. It's crazy, but yeah. I don't know. It's crazy.
And you know what the best part about that is?
Hmm.
You think you're there.
Yeah,
right?
and there's always more growing.
Yeah, then next year you're gonna look back and be like, dang. And then the year after that, you're gonna be like, oh shoot.
I love that though.
Yeah.
I love the growth.
100%.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
Honestly. But
and that's what I think, and that's what actually I was speaking at some event for freshmen. I think it was over the summer. I was with Abby Schwartz, but they were asking us to like for advice and stuff, and I was like, you be ready for change and embrace it.
Yeah.
I am like spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally a completely 180 from the version of myself that came into college.
Oh, for
like
sure.
I have changed so much, and it's like you got to be open to it, and like you said, ride the wave.
That's
like
that's a really good piece.
Yeah, and
like
look at the bigger picture and everything in the ups and in the downs, like, and just realize how far you have come and how far you have yet to go.
Yeah, that's so crazy because I feel like this is the first year where I've actually felt that every single piece, including mostly the bad, in fact, has something to offer. Like the rough times, I feel like in the past I've just been like, oh, this sucks, and just been so caught up in that.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel like now I'm starting to be like, okay, what is this teaching me? Clearly, I need to slow down and like change something. That's so true. Ride the wave.
Everything happens for a reason.
That's right.
Yep.
Just like your tattoo.
Yep.
Do you guys want to do this or that before we have to wrap up? Because
Of
Husker game just got
course.
done. You want to do like 3
Yes.
this or that's, then we'll end it. Because post game's got to get going.
Did they
So
just win?
they just won.
I guess.
Congrats to men's basketball.
Congrats, men's
Minnesota,
basketball,
I
Husker.
believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
They won by
congrats.
like over 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Need to
Good
see.
job, guys. Yes, we can do our this or that.
Yeah.
So we'll just like go down the line.
Let's do
with
like 3
this
minutes
or
of this or
that.
that. Then
So I'll go first,
Right.
then Philly, and then if you want to think of it, this or that. It can be so basic. Okay, here's mine. This or that. Tumbling or swinging?
Oh, 2 of my favorite events.
I'm gonna say
I know
tumbling.
This one. Swinging.
Really?
100%.
I'll say
yeah.
swinging.
Huh. The shoulder girl says tumbling.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Fair.
right. In honor of me just getting 2 new tattoos, piercings or tattoos?
Tattoos.
Tattoos. Do you have any tattoos?
Yes.
3.
You have 3?
Yeah.
No.
Wait, actually,
no.
I think I changed my answer.
Really?
I feel like, but I love
You have a
both.
lot of piercings though too.
Yes. I love both. Oh, I can't choose. Sorry. Can't.
That's fine.
Okay.
but that's the name of the game. It's this
This or
or
It is
that.
the name of
It's
the
not.
game.
I'm
It's
choosing
not this, that, or
those.
both.
I'm choosing those.
Wait, where are your tattoos?
I got the maple leaf on my ankle.
Okay.
I got a heart on my wrist, and then everything happens for a reason on my ribs.
It's so
Nice.
cute.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
You got a this or that, Spence?
Okay, I'll do a very basic one.
Okay.
Summer, winter.
Summer.
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 And living in Nebraska has changed my mind about that. In LA, I was
Actually-
like, winter, I love Christmas. And
Yeah, and it's like not even. It's like fake
snow.
cold.
Yeah. And I dreamt about the snow. That's why.
Yeah.
And then after this winter, when I
Yeah.
literally got in a crash, and
Yeah,
got
that
stuck
ruined it,
and,
huh?
Oh, yeah.
and like seasonal depression and cold, like, oh my gosh.
Buddy just got out of the
Summer.
shop recently, though.
Yes. Summer by far.
So summer. Summer. Anyways, well, thank you so much for coming on, Spence. We hope you got to learn a little bit
Yes,
more about
thank
her
you.
and her incredible personality. So much more than just amazing gymnastics. But we hope you guys have a great week. Remember to ride the wave.
Ride the wave, people. Whether it's good or bad, ride
Yeah.
it and take something good from it.
Congrats to men's basketball. And we will see you next
Yes.
Sunday on Flippin' It with Sam and Sav.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're